자, 대통령을 따라서 한번 같이 영어 스피킹 연습을 해보겠습니다.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Well, hello everybody.
Hey, welcome to the White House.
Welcome to the White House.
There are a lot
of good things about being president.
good things about being president. You know, I get a chance to travel
I get a chance to travel all across the country and meet
all across the country and meet people and
people and see all the amazing things
see all the amazing things that are being done.
Being commander-in-chief.
Being commander-in-chief of the greatest military
The world and has ever known and seen.
the world's ever known, and seeing the incredible service of our men
Incredible service of our men and women in uniform.
and women in uniform. Air Force One.
Air Force One is very cool.
It's very cool.
I don't have to take off my shoes
I don't have to take off my shoes before
before I get on an airplane.
get on an airplane.
But some of the best moments that I ever had as a president
Some of the best moments that I've had as president have
involved the science and our annual science fair.
Science and our annual science fair. I mean, I have
a shot at a marshmallow out of cannon.
shot a marshmallow out of a cannon directly
under Lincoln's portraits.
Lincoln's portrait. I
learned about prototypes from 6-year-old.
About prototypes from 6-year-old Girl
Scouts who built a page-turning machine.
Who built a page-turning machine out of Legos.
For people who might be disabled. There they are.
For people who might be disabled. There they are. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys.
I should add, by the way,
that I took a picture with
them
with one of their tiaras.
Their tiaras on.
Which I think is still floating around the internet. Most importantly, I've just been able to see the unbelievable ingenuity and a passion and a curiosity.
Ingenuity and passion and curiosity and brain power
of America's next generation.
And
all the cool things that they do.
I also,
by the way, had a chance to see an alarming
number of robots.
Number of robots.
None have
caused me any harm up until now.
They've startled me.
They startled me a little bit.
I understand today
that we have a live chicken here.
Which I'm sure
the White House staff is thrilled about.
The White House staff is thrilled about. But this is fun. More importantly,
it speaks to what makes America.
It speaks to what makes America the greatest country.
Greatest country on earth.
I want to
publicly thank some of the people.
Who helped
make today possible. Also because I want you to.
Also because I want you to know who to blame.
I want you to know who to blame if something explodes.
We got
some members of Congress in the House.
Who've been highly
supportive to all our science
supportive of all our science and basic research
efforts.
We got my
science advisor, John Holdren.
Science advisor, John Holdren, who is here.
Give John a big round of applause. We have my Chief Technology Officer, Megan Smith.
Chief Technology Officer Megan Smith in the house.
We have some guests who are really helping to lift up.
We have some guests who are really helping to lift up the importance of science.
The importance of science, like this is not a typical combination, supermodel and supercoder.
Typical combination, supermodel and supercoder. Carly Kloss is here. We got actress and science enthusiast, Yura Shahidi. Actress and science enthusiast, Yara Shahidi. Where's there she is. Good to see you.
Good to see you. We got XKCD comic creator Randall Monroe is here.
XKCD comic creator Randall Monroe is here. Give
him a big round of applause.
We're joined by some of the
past participants of
our science fairs,
including Elena Simon.
Elena Simone, who studied her
own cancer and started coming up with
cancer and started coming up with some cures. I remember
some cures.
Meeting you last year.
I remember meeting you last year.
How's Harvard going?
How is Harvard going?
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
She was a senior last.
She was a senior last year. Just started. So this is a eclectic and a diverse bunch.
This is an eclectic and diverse bunch. But what they all share
is this love of science.
This love of science and love of technology.
Love of technology and a belief that our youngest
innovators
can change the world.
And there's nothing that
makes me more hopeful about
the future
than seeing young people like the ones who are
here, and they come from
all over the country.
They come in all shapes.
They come in all shapes and sizes.
All of
you are showing the rest of us that it's never
too early in life
to make a difference.
You teach
us about the power of reason and logic.
And
trying things and figuring out whether they
work and
if they don't, learning from that and
trying
something new.
You remind us
that together through science we can tackle some of the biggest challenges that we face.
Whether you're fighting cancer or combating
climate change,
feeding the
world, writing code that leads to social change. You are sharing in this essential
spirit of discovery.
That America is built on.
John Holdren
hopefully reminded me that today
happens to
be the 273rd birthday of Thomas Jefferson.
The 273rd birthday of Thomas Jefferson. And
Thomas Jefferson was obviously pretty good.
Thomas Jefferson was obviously a pretty good writer.
Pretty good writer. Declaration of Independence turned out.
The Declaration of Independence turned out pretty well.
Pretty well. He was great political thinker and a great president.
A great political thinker and a great president. But he was also
a scientist.
And
that was true of most of our founders.
Was true of most of our founders. They were
children of enlightenment.
Children of the Enlightenment. They had come of age.
They had come of age when all the old dogma were.
When all the old dogmas were being
challenged.
And
they had this incredible faith.
This belief.
This belief in the human mind.
And our
ability to figure stuff out. And whether it was Benjamin Franklin or Thomas.
And whether it is Benjamin Franklin or Thomas Jefferson.
All the others who were involved in
the
founding of our country. One of the essential elements.
Our country. One of the essential elements that is embedded
in our Constitution and design.
That is embedded in our Constitution and the design of this democracy.
Design of this democracy is this belief that the power of
the power of the human brain.
Power of human brain, when applies to the world around us, can do.
When applied to the world around us. Can do
amazing, remarkable things.
And
it also requires, as we're seeing from this,
it also requires, as we're seeing from these
outstanding teams, not just constant inquiry.
Not just constant inquiry, but also strong
teamwork and a dogged perseverance.
Teamwork and dogged perseverance, and by following the trail of curiosity wherever it takes you.
You are continually adding to this.
You are continually adding to this body of knowledge.
That helps make us more secure.
That helps make us a more secure, more prosperous,
and a more hopeful society.
Science has
always been the hallmark.
Has been the hallmark of American progress.
Hallmark of American progress.
It's the key to our.
It's key to our economic success.
I can't
think of more exciting time for American.
A more exciting time for American science than right
now, because we are busy. Reigniting that spirit of innovation to meet.
So many challenges. Just give you a couple
examples.
We're on the cusp of a new.
We're on the cusp of a new era of medicine.
That accounts for people's
individual genes. And I've been doing a lot of work with Francis Collins.
The head of
NIH, around how we take the human genomes.
NIH, around how we take the human genome that we've mapped.
We've mapped in part thanks to the good work of.
Francis and others.
So that we are able to not just cure.
So that we are able to not just cure diseases
generally, but figure out what exactly
generally, but figure out what exactly do you
in your particular body need in order to keep it.
Your particular body need in order to keep it running well.
Running well.
We're harnessing technology.
We're harnessing technology to develop cleaner sources
To develop cleaner sources of energy.
And save our planet in the process.
And save our planet in the process. We're unraveling the mysteries
of the human
brain.
Human brain. Unlocking secrets of the universe.
Secrets of the universe. In fact,
just last month, Commander Scott Kelly.
Commander Scott Kelly returned from an
almost a year-long stay. On the International Space Station.
Some of you may have read about.
Some of you may have read about that.
He conducted countless
experiments.
And he also served
as an experiment himself. His identical twin brother Mark, who is an astronaut.
Twin brother Mark, who is an astronaut as well.
Mark stayed home during his entire time
Mark stayed home during this entire time that Scott was up in
the air, and that meant that NASA could
and that meant that NASA could study
the two of them side by side to gain insights. Into how a long-term occupation in space changes.
How long-term occupation in space changes your body and
your operating systems
and your operating systems. It turned out
initially it makes you 2 inches taller.
It makes you 2 inches taller. But I saw Mark.
Just 2 weekends ago. Apparently.
Just 2 weekends ago. Apparently, you shrink them.
You shrink back really quickly.
It makes your head.
It makes your head bigger too.
Which. But I don't know.
how big.
How big? America has also got a selfie-taking rover. Got a selfie-taking rover that's
Instagramming from Mars.
The International Space Station just got
its first.
Its first inflatable
habitat for astronauts. SpaceX on the commercial private venture side of.
And on the commercial private venture side of space.
Just landed on a returning rocket on a drone.
Just landed a returning rocket on a drone ship in the middle.
Of the ocean.
And that's opening up the
possibility of reusing
our rockets.
Instead of just throwing them away once.
They've launched.
They have launched.
So the progress
we're seeing across the board is
extraordinary,
and it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. The rest is going to be up.
The rest is going to be up to you, the next generation. Somewhere in your generation.
Maybe in this room.
Or pioneers who are going to be.
Or pioneers who are going to be
the first to set their foot on Mars.
The first humans,
The first humans, anyway.
I don't know
about other life forms.
And I know
what you're capable of because I just had a chance to see some of the exhibits.
And
we had some of the press pool follow. If you're not blown away from some of the young people that we just had a chance to meet.
Then
You had too big of a lunch and you're falling.
You had too big of a lunch and you were falling asleep.
Falling asleep because if you're paying attention.
Because if you were paying attention, it was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
We got
Maya Barma, who is a senior.
Maya Varma, who's a senior from San Jose, California.
From San Jose, California.
Where's Maya?
Where's Maya?
Yay, there's Maya.
Yeah, there's Maya.
Maya's
using a low-cost microcontroller.
A low-cost microcontroller,
software freely available on the internet.
Freely available on the internet, and a smartphone.
And she designed a tool that allows.
And she designed a tool that allows people with
asthma and other lung diseases to diagnose.
Asthma and other lung diseases to diagnose and monitor
their own symptoms. So her goal was to use smartphone technology to make diagnostic tests for all kinds of diseases.
Tests for all kinds of diseases a lot cheaper. My aspiration is
not only to create the next big thing.
Not only to create the next big thing in my field.
In my field, one day, Maya says.
But also
to make it accessible to more than
a privileged few.
Privileged few in the world.
So give Maya a big round.
So give him a big round of applause. I do have to say this is just an aside.
This is just an aside. The only problem
with the science fair is it makes me feel.
The science fair is it makes me feel
a little inadequate. Because I think back to my high school.
And first of all, I didn't have a field. Maya talked about it.
Maya talked about her field.
My field.
I don't know exactly what my field of study was at that time.
I don't know exactly what my field of study was at that time. But it wasn't that. We also have
9-year-old Jacob Leggett.
9-year-old Jacob Leggett from Baltimore. Where's Jacob?
From Baltimore. Where is Jacob?
There you go in the bow tie.
There you go. Jacob loved programming ever since the age of 2.
So Jacob loved programming ever since the age of 2 when he
nearly wiped clean his grandma's computer.
Which I'm sure
she was thrilled with.
But don't worry, Jacob fixed it. Last summer, this young maker wrote to a company. That manufactured 3D printers. Asked him if he could have one of the 3D printers. In
exchange for feedback on whether their printers.
Are kid-friendly.
So clearly he's a good negotiator and a business person.
And today
Jacob is churning out toys and games.
For himself and
his little sister.
And he dreams one day
of making artificial organs. For people.
I should add,
by the way, Jacob.
John had a very
good idea, which is that we should have.
In addition
to our PCAST, which is my science advisory.
Our PCAST, which is my science advisory group, all these
scientists and leaders in various
scientists and leaders and various fields.
Various fields, we should have a kids advisory group.
We should have a kids advisory group that starts
Explaining to us what's interesting to them
explaining to us what's interesting to them and
what's working and could help us shape advances
what's working and could help us shape advances in STEM education.
and STEM education.
Anyway, that was Jacob's idea. So, way to go, Jacob.
So, way to go. Way to go, Jacob.
We're going to follow up on that.
We're going to follow up on that. Give Jacob a round of applause.
We have
16-year-old Anirudh Gansen.
Year-old Anirudh Ganeshan. Where's
Anirudh?
Anirudh? There he is, right
There he is, right there.
there.
So when Anirudh was little, his grandparents walked in.
When Anirudh was little, his grandparents